I'd like to speak to mom and dads in the area of technology and parenting on purpose. I'd like to take just one small segment of that and focus in on protection. There's a lot of things to be concerned about with technology. Some of us have a hard time holding on to that, being aware of that. And so sometimes with protection, it's just we need to remind ourselves that this is an area that, yeah, there are things that are out there that are dangerous. And so if we have a hard time remembering that, it can be hard to move into protection because we forget the reality that we can do this, that we can step in, that we can be protective even when something has a lot of potential dangers. And it's a really big topic. So the three things that I would encourage you with in this area of protection would be that there's limits. Like, how do you set up limits? And the reality is if we can start at a really young age, that can be really helpful. Technology in many ways, especially like social media, has been designed by its creators to really hook the brain, to really pull them in a way that makes it very difficult to step out. So even as young kids, what does that look like to say, wait, limiting here in this space is actually going to help equip them when they get to that space, when they're in their teens and trying to figure out how to navigate things like social media, and it gets more and more complicated. So if we can start early, see what is it that I can do that might limit their exposure, and in that, then that's protective. And then I think the next thing would be like filters or blocking. Those things are really helpful. How do I explore that and see what fits well for our family and move into that at whatever stage we're in? Thirdly, and I would say actually this is actually the most important, and that would be relationship. How do we step into relationship, building relationship with them so that we know what's going on in their world, we know what they're getting exposed to, that we can help them process what they're hearing or seeing, what's going on with their friend, and that we have that dialogue that helps us see what's going on in their inner world and then gives us the opportunity to bring truth and wisdom into that. Growing relationship with our kids, I think, is a huge protection factor in the area of technology. Mom and dads, talking about protection acknowledges that there's a threat. So certainly we're saying here that technology is a threat. I think the news that I want to leave you with is there's great hope with limits that we put in place, with the reality that there's lots of good resources out there to help block and filter things. But most importantly, with you, your relationship with them provides an immense amount of protection against the threat that's there. And I hope that gives you a great deal of hope to step into this space of parenting on purpose with technology.